Hey, welcome. We are following Monday Night Raw. I'm going to go a little bit of a different order. There's a ton of things I have listed here that I liked. I thought Raw overall was a phenomenal show. Phenomenal show. It's one of those resetting shows, so I thought they really hit it out of the park. I'm going to start with the one thing I did not like, though, with this video. Now that Gunther is world champion, one of the things I liked was the match. I thought the main event match was fantastic. I'll talk about that a little bit. But now that he's champion, are there any challengers? I'm looking across the Raw roster. Now with Gunther as the champion, he can't face Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is a heel. He has the money in the bank. He's not cashing in on Gunther. It's not happening. CM Punk is busy. He's facing John Cena. Everyone else is in the tournament field. I mean, do you run it back with Jey Uso? I guess what I don't want with Gunther now as champion, I'm not saying having him as champion is a bad thing. What I don't want is another situation where, oh, cool, he's the world champion. Now that title's an afterthought again. And just looking across the scope, that's kind of my fear right now, that this title once again could be an afterthought with Gunther as world champion. I'm not saying that it was a bad call to get the title off Jey Uso and make Gunther a champion once again, but I don't know who's left to challenge him at this point where everybody else seemingly is busy. And as a heel, you got, I don't know. I'm a little concerned about that. Maybe you run back Jey Uso one more time, but we'll see what happens. All right, now to the things that I liked. I have 5 things that I liked from the show. I'll go pretty much in order here. So, show opened with CM Punk and John Cena. CM Punk is one of the few people in WWE right now that gets an immediate rock star babyface reaction along the lines of, Rhea Ripley, pretty much is the only one. And Jey Uso that gets that rock star babyface reaction. And John Cena gets a rock star reaction too, just, as a dynamic heel. The time has arrived. Cena, Punk, one final time. It was always tricky to figure out when to do this match. Do you wait till SummerSlam? Do you pull it off in Saudi Arabia? Like, the time is now. I like all the references to the past with 2011, but I do also like the fact that even if you weren't around in 2011, you know that this collision course was still a huge deal. Still a huge deal. Again, the issue we run into with Punk, he's probably not going to win this match. So once again, is this going to be another high-profile situation that you plug in Punk and he doesn't win the big one? I don't know. But on this night, a great extension. What I like, too, you referenced the final boss. I think it's time, we're not going to get into the whole backstory of, where the hell's The Rock, but remembering a bit of the foundation of Cena's heel turn and trying to peel the layers back to why Cena is acting this way. Just like Cena Orton, the roles are reversed, where CM Punk is outwardly fighting for the people and John Cena is a rebel against the people. So, off to a great start. R-Truth, now Ron Killings. I'm not really interested in talking about who was right, who was wrong, who brought R-Truth back, who effing cares? The fans spoke up. The fans brought it back. And not only did the fans speak up, the locker room spoke up. John Cena spoke up. A favorite with R-Truth. But the key is that R-Truth didn't come back. For those of you who have that type of hair, you understand what he did out there is effing crazy. Cutting off all those dreads is just crazy. To do that live and do it on one effort. I remember when I had curls, that took me almost an hour to cut all that stuff off. He did that in 30 seconds. Crazy. New character, new edge. Got to make him look strong. You have to make Ron Killings look strong. I was just talking about, Gunther doesn't have a challenger. I'm not saying Ron Killings should be Gunther's next challenger, but got to make Ron Killings look strong. You could turn him heel, but I would not advise you doing so. I think Ron Killings, people want to cheer for him. You have an organic superstar right now, and this could be a legendary run if you make him look strong. And hell, who knows? Maybe Ron Killings could eventually have a main event match with John Cena. Speaking of which, the King and Queen of the Ring matches, I think, were both great. The King of the Ring match with Penta and Braun Breaker and Dominic Mysterio, I think was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Just all the combustible elements in play. I like the LA Knight interference with Braun Breaker, and then ultimately, and Sami Zayn. I forgot to mention the guy who actually won the match, Sami Zayn, who wants to do it the right way. Well, this is the start. So, of those four, Sami Zayn getting the big win, Dominic Mysterio having things going on with the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day stuff finally is starting to get a little interesting, especially what happened on the women's side. I love the final sequence with Perez pulling out the W, getting the win, and then that fed into the frustration of Liv Morgan. And we talked on the show about Liv Morgan not getting the respect that she deserves. So I love that she's going to be in a spotlight match against Nikki Bella at Evolution. I love how that angle got started tonight. As you know, if you're in your hometown or you bring your kid, you're getting beat down, as we found out today. So with Jey Uso bringing his son, and of course Nikki Bella from Phoenix. So a lot there to like. And again, I mentioned before, I thought we saw Jey Uso's best match. I thought both guys, Gunther and Jey Uso, went out there to prove that they can deliver, and particularly Jey Uso. Like, dude, I can wrestle. I can wrestle. Don't know about the early sleepers, but it did tell a story in that, hey, coming into this week, Jey Uso got beat up pretty bad. And Jey Uso really didn't have much in the tank to begin with. So, go for the win early. But if you want to equal it to, I don't know, a Roland Garros French Open final, the longer the match goes, the longer it benefits Carlos Alcaraz, or in this case, the longer the match went, the more it favored Gunther. Love the little detail, too, of after that crossbody and Jey Uso went down and he's hurting, and Gunther's off in the corner and he's gets that little cracked smile. Gunther is very good with facial expressions in the ring. Very good with that. So I thought the match was great. I don't argue against Gunther winning the title. I just fear, looking across the Raw landscape, who's his next challenger? I don't know. But nonetheless, a great night. Hey, listen, great night of wrestling. A lot happened on Monday Night Raw. A lot to take in, and hope you enjoyed it. Back here tomorrow for the NXT reaction.